Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. An update from the front, from Ukraine. The Russians conducted another massive drone and missile attack on Ukraine using Onyks anti-ship missiles. We're going to find out how many they used and how many more the Russians have. It seems like they restarted using these Onyx missiles. We're going to find out what's going on in Pokrovsk, and we're going to find out what's going on in Toretsk. The Russians supposedly retreat from Pokrovsk, but it seems like they are going to encircle some Ukrainians in Toretsk front. Then we're going to find out what happened in Mykolaiv, where the Russians used missiles to strike Mykolaiv, Ukraine. We're going to find out a little bit about Onyx, as I said, and guess what? Zelenskyy is telling us that Ukraine started increasingly using heavy weapons. What have they been using so far? So they got weapons. All right, and we're going to find an imbecile. His name is Pistorius, the defense minister of Germany. This guy wants Germany to be hit by the Russians. He's going to push for Taurus missiles being sent to Ukraine, and that is clear. It's clear what the Russians said. That is, you are actively involved in a war. That means if we hit the Ukrainians and they're actively involved in a war, and we consider you actively involved in a war, that means we're going to hit you, Germany. He doesn't care. Why? He's going to be in a bunker. Where are you going to be? Fighting the Russians in Ukraine? They're going to twist it, and then they're going to say, see, the boogeyman attacked us. But who provoked that? Were you involved in it? No, you got yourself in the equation. And the last topic is how people cry when they get smacked. So in this case, these volunteers from various Western countries, they go over there and volunteer to fight the Russians for the good cause. If there are volunteers from the Western countries fighting in behalf of Russia, that's not good. Those are mercenaries and they're bad people. Now, what do you do when you capture one of these guys? He started crying. He's not a mercenary. I'm a volunteer. Where, according to me, who I captured you, you are what I want you to be. This is not Western mirage or idiocracy where you identify whatever you want. I will identify you as a mercenary. In the case of an Australian who was captured, that Australian was not in Ukraine because he was just dispensing and sharing flowers. He was over there to do something to the Russians. Now the Russians captured him and they say, you're a mercenary. And these guys from BBC, no, he's not a mercenary. He's just a volunteer. Or what is he? He's just a captured guy. We're going to find out. All right, let's start with the first topic. And that comes from Ukrainska Pravda. This is from today, the 21st of April, 2021. So, Russian Defense Ministry says its troops have resumed hostilities after, quote-unquote, Easter truce. Okay, we're back in business. New voice of Ukraine. Russia launched nearly 100 drones and Onyx Kh-31P missiles in overnight attack on Ukraine. So they launched a massive air assault on Ukraine, firing 96 drones and striking Mykolaiv and Kherson oblasts with cruise missiles. I will show you where that is. In addition to 42 Shahed drones and other UAVs shot down across eastern, northern, southern and central Ukraine, air defense managed to neutralize 47 more drones. Through electronic warfare, the military says. No casualties, no nothing. Okay, so let's see what happened. Where is Mykolaiv and where is Kherson? Right here, shall we? Oh, that's not what I want, but anyway, the ad always wants to get in. We're going to get the ads out, and here is what I want to show you. So this is Ukraine, and Mykolaiv is right here by the Crimean Peninsula, and Kherson is next door. So this is Mykolaiv right here, and this is Kherson. Got Kherson, Mykolaiv. So this is where the Russians attacked with missiles. Back. Now I'm going to go to the next article. Russia attacks Ukraine with Onyx anti-ship and Kh-31P cruise missiles and 96 UAVs overnight. Alright, they attacked from where exactly? Let's see what they do. Attacked, pop, they don't 2 KH-31P anti-radiation missiles and that's one Onyx. Let's see what they attacked. The Russians affected Kharkiv, Dnipropetrovsk and Cherkasy. The Russians launched missiles from the airspace over the Black Sea and from temporarily occupied Crimea. So we have the Dnipropetrovsk, Cherkasy and Kharkiv, right? So we got Dnipropetrovsk, which is right here. Kharkov is right here, right? And Cherkasy is right here. These are the oblasts they attacked from, they said, from the airspace of the Black Sea and from the Crimean Peninsula. Black Sea from temporarily occupied Crimea. So the drones were launched from Mykolaiv, Kursk, Bryansk and Primorsko-Akhtarsk and Crimea. So Mykolaiv, Kursk, Bryansk. We're gonna go to, let's do it like this. Here it is. Mykolaiv is exactly here. Let's make it a little bit like that. All right, here's Mykolaiv here. Kursk is right here and Bryansk is here. So the drones are from Bryansk, Kursk, Mykolaiv. Primorsko-Akhtarsk is exactly what that little Red Riding Hood over there is. Right here, Primorsko-Akhtarsk, and from the Crimean Peninsula. This is where the drones were launched from. Ukraine forces down 42 Russian drones and 47 were lost. Lost from radar, that is because of the electronic warfare. So that is what, 89 out of 96 or whatever they were. 96, where are they, baby doll? 96. All right, that means they got what, 7 drones that are unaccounted for. Next, this comes from the New Voice of Ukraine. What to know about Russia's Onyx missiles launched into southern Ukraine? This is it. Russia launched an Onyx anti-ship missile from occupied Crimea at Ukraine's Kherson Oblast. Kherson Oblast is by Mykolaiv. Let me show you again so we don't forget it is. Right here, this is Kherson Oblast here, and this is Kherson, the city. The city. Oh, I'm making the latest use of the weapon, typically designed for naval targets, against land-based sites following the so-called Easter truce on April 21st. So this is typically designed for naval targets. Okay, so Russia has approximately 500 Onyx missiles in its arsenal as of December 2024. 500. Oops, they got a lot of them. All right, 500 could be a few days. These high-speed long-range missiles are capable of evading defenses, making them a serious concern for Ukrainian forces. So the Russians, if they want to hit your command centers, they can do it. Right here, Onyx missiles, key details and capabilities. So the Onyx was developed by Soviet Union in 1970s, old one. The missile was designed as a versatile cruise missile capable of being launched from surface ships, submarine, aircraft and land-based platforms. On service with the Russian Navy since 2002, the Onyx missile became operational with the Bastion coastal mobile system, which was finalized in 2015. That is, when these guys want to go into the Black Sea with their NATO garbage, the Onyx will wait for them. I'll show you right there. The Onyxes are all around the Bastion right here. So when these guys want to come from the baboons from Romania, for instance, from Constanța, right here, or from the other baboons in Bulgaria, or who knows where, they're gonna be met by the Onyx missiles. Read it? Got it? Next one. Maybe we have something more. Not that one. Where are you, baby doll? Right here. The Onyx missile is primarily used for targeting and destroying enemy ships. Big enough. Key specifications. Length 8 meters. That's about 10, not 10, but let's say 9 yards. 9 yards multiplied by 3 and you find in feet. Diameter 67 meters. That's 0.67. That is about 1 yard, not even. Wingspan 1.7. Weight 3,000 kilograms multiplied by 2. You find in pounds. So that's about what, 6,000 pounds. Warhead weight, that is load 300 kilograms. If you want to see in pound, That's about 600 pounds. Speed, Mach 2, that's not a hypersonic. Range, 300 kilometers. Onyx extended range to 800 kilometers. So they're very, very good, it seems like. Next one. Russians attack Mykolaiv, the city, with missiles, plural, and Kherson with artillery, injuring person. We already covered that. Let's see what they say. What did they do? Nothing. They don't. The same thing. They don't tell us what hit what. Next one. Ukraine form. Russian forces retreating from western outskirts of Pokrovsk. Did you know that the Russians are in Pokrovsk? No, they never said that. They said, well, are in the area. They try to cut off the supply lines right here. Russian troops are gradually retreating from the western outskirts of Pokrovsk. Western, I will show you on the map. Following an unsuccessful attempt to cut off the route from the Dnipropetrovsk region. All right, where is that located? No worries. Pokrovsk is located exactly where my strong hand is, right here, and I'm gonna zoom in. All right, this is Pokrovsk right here, Pokrovsk. Now, this is the border with Dnipropetrovsk in here, and this is Donetsk. So, and you say Zaporozhye here, and then Zaporozhye is a little bit lower, right here, Zaporozhye, Dnipropetrovsk, and then this is in Donetsk, and this is Pokrovsk. They're supposedly the Russians from the western outskirts. Now, west is here, east is there, north is there, and south is here. So this is where it's supposed. This is on the 21st. These are very, very well updated, this map. But I don't see them. They want to, right here. This is what they want to cut off, or maybe the one going like that. This is what they're talking about. Going right here, crossing into Dnipropetrovsk. This is what I'm talking about. Supposedly the Russians are retreating, according to these guys, right? Next, Ukrainska Pravda. Zelenskyy, with double Y. Russians increasingly using heavy weapons. Ukrainian soldiers ambushed on Toretsk front. And Meow Meow is attacking me, right, Meow Meow? What's wrong with you? The cat. All right. So, gone for now. So, ambushed in Toretsk. Increasingly, and ambushed in Toretsk. Where is Toretsk? Toretsk is northeast of Pokrovsk. Let's make it like this. If Pokrovsk is here, Toretsk is right here in this area. This is where Toretsk is located. It's right here. It says Toretsk if you don't believe me. So supposedly the Ukrainians were ambushed right here as the Russians are using more heavy weapons. That is, bring us anti-heavy weapons. And then we're going to find out. I would say this is a traitor. Not this guy. This is two. But not me. I'm a treater. I treat you. We're going to find another traitor who is, I think, Pistorius. If the Germans will use, not provide the Ukrainians, will use Taurus missiles against Russia or Russian troops in Ukraine or in Russia, that would mean the declaration of war. Clearly, Zakharova, the spokeswoman of the Russian Foreign Ministry, claimed and said, if you do that, you are actively involved in a war. Why? I think Peskov said, you cannot operate, the Ukrainians will not operate the Taurus missiles without the German troops. They will 100% operate them. And the other guys are saying, well, you didn't say anything about us using the Storm Shadow missiles, howitzers, tanks, F-16s. Why are you upset now, homie? Well, I think there was a mistake from the Russians. I think the mistake is the Russians did not think, or they postponed this, thinking that maybe they will gain more ground. It was a normal development. And the only two things that the West doesn't have in Ukraine legally is troops and the nuclear weapon. That's all. They have everything else. Everything. Tanks, heavy machinery, howitzers, armored vehicles, tanks, I said airplanes, Patriot systems, HIMARSs, intelligence, satellites. They have everything over there. Only legal troops. There are troops. Legal troops and nuclear weapons. That's all they're missing. And they say, no, you can't hit us. Only we can hit you. Let me show you this imbecile who has been pushing for this deployment, the attack of Russia. Probably he's thinking of the Second World War when it got smacked. New voice of Ukraine. Pistorius on Taurus missile debate. I don't know where this erotic relationship with weapons came from. And this guy says, and listen to this. I don't know where this erotic relationship with the weapons came from, Pistorius says, referring to efforts by German Chancellor candidate Merz to persuade the Social Democratic Party to approve the delivery of Taurus missiles. And let me show you something else. He says that no one else had a debate to send missiles. Why do we have a debate? We just do it. German Defense Minister Pistorius weighed in on the growing public debate within Germany's government over whether to send Taurus long-range missiles to Ukraine. It's not going to be sending. Not. And he says here, Pistorius argued that no other country had conducted such public debates over supplying specific weapons to Ukraine. Oh, this is this argument. If they over there abuse children, they all do it. Why shouldn't we? No. This is their mentality. If everybody breaks the law, why shouldn't we? Is this the argument? If everybody else is a tyrannical form of government, we don't ask that. We just do it. Remember, Pistorius is not an elected official. That's the minimum requirement. He's a bureaucrat, like von der Leyen. Remember von der Leyen? Well, Mr. von der Leyen was the defense minister, had Mr. Pistorius's spot a while ago. And then she was catapulted as the president of the European Commission. This guy wants her job, or even more. What can be more? This guy is a criminal, I think. Not criminal. He's a traitor, because he must know, and he knows, he's not a must know, that once that happened, the Russians told him, you are at war. Is that what you want? And the Brits are like, it's exactly. Now, is that good for you or bad for you? I'm talking about to the German people, not to the, you want that? Go and fight then. And see what happens. How's that? Play around and find out? All right. And the last one is how we immediately, ask for, hey, you should respect this thing here. Even though we sent and we want to, you should respect. No, we shouldn't respect anything. Here. As I said, the strong takes, the weak begs. BBC. Australian captured while fighting for Ukraine. What do you mean fighting? I tell you what fighting means. That means killing the enemy. Who's the enemy? The Russians. So this Australian traveled to Ukraine to kill the Russians. And now the Russians captured him. What do you think they should do with him? They should be, oh my God, where's Geneva Convention? First, I think that he's lucky that he was captured alive. That's my take in the war, okay? I think that this guy could have been captured differently, but I guarantee you the Russians received orders. Don't boom in the field. They are more valuable alive. That's the only reason why this Australian is still alive. It's not because, oh my God, Geneva Convention, let me see. Oh, hey, Ivan, we can't do this. Oh, no, don't bang him yet, okay? They will bang him, but not you, all right? Let's see. A prisoner of war is a mercenary. Oh, if he's a mercenary, that means we can keep him up. If I remember correctly, the Geneva Convention doesn't apply to the prisoners of war. Hey, stop. It's going to be a good mouthpiece when we're going to put the cameras on him, smack him around the room a few times, and we're going to AK ready for him, and he's going to say, yes, I went over there to attack the great nation of Russia because the evil West sent me over there. Whoo-shoo, I peed my pants. Just kidding, not. All right, there you go. An Australian man who was captured by Russian forces while fighting for Ukraine has been charged with being a mercenary in an armed conflict, authorities have said. All right, Oscar Jenkins, a 33-year-old teacher, oh my God, preacher, 33 like Jesus Christ, was captured in December 2024, the prosecutor's office in occupied Luhansk region in the eastern Ukraine said. The office said it had approved the indictment against him under Russia's criminal code, not, I was about to say Argentina, Australia's criminal code. No, Russia's, because they can. Australia's Prime Minister, oh, now you feel like, oh, Albanese, said Australian officials certainly have not abandoned Mr. Jenkins' jerkis and continue to make representations on his behalf in response to a question from a reporter on Saturday. What does that mean? Now you say it? Why didn't you say, whomever goes to fight over there, you're on your own? Oh, you support him? He's an Australian citizen after all. What if this Mr. Jenkins would have fought on the Russian side? Just, over there as a volunteer. Would Mr. Albanese say the same thing? So don't give me the citizenship thing. Because if the citizenship, that means regardless of where they fought. Oh, they fought on the people we don't like at the moment? Selective justice and, not good. The Russians will do whatever they want, and probably we're going to give these guys back after they will see, we're good people, we're going to give this guy back to you. He's going to be indicted, he's going to be convicted, he's going to be sent into prison, and then, or whatever, he's going to be confined, and they will eventually give it back to the Australians. When they get Mr. Baut back, another Baut from Australia. But the thing, we want this guy back, he's an Australian. You should have said like other countries, you go and fight in a conflict, or you're on your own. We don't know you. Like Stalin said about one of his sons. He said the Germans captured him in the front because yes, they fought. The Soviets, the Soviets are the Russians, because remember Mr. Djugashvili, Mr. Stalin was not a Russian. So was that a product of him and a Jewish woman? Because he was married to a Jews. Anyway, just mere coincidence. They're everywhere because they're very. Anyway, so this guy fought over there, Mr. Djugashvili, captured by the Germans. The Germans said, what do we have here, Mr. Djugashvili, Stalin? That's my son. He said, I have no sons over there. They put it in a summer camp, and he died, poor guy. But again, the guy was fighting the invading German Pistorius troops. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.